You're listening to the soothing sounds of the irritable Bosko and Spyder podcast. This program is brought to you by contributions by viewers like you. Thank you. Now, enjoy your IBS experience.
Aw, yeah.
Yeah. Bam, bam.
Welcome to the IBS Podcast, everybody.
Sponsored by
Light. Makers of Bush Heavy, but with a lighter side for your...
That's right.
I'm Spyder.
And I'm Bosko.
Welcome to week number 9, I want to say. Probably
Sure. Let's go with that. I like it.
Yeah, the middleman is out of the office today. We gave him the week off because he's going to a wedding. So no middleman, no political rants this week.
Damn it. No Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, no Fauci. But next week he will be back. We'll force him to come on and annoy everybody like he always does.
But we won't force him, kids. He actually likes hanging out with us, so he'll actually be here on his own dime.
Slowly but surely trying to get everybody in the same room. That's the hard part.
Absolutely.
We're all vaxxed and waxed, as they say.
Oh, vaxxed and waxed. Yeah, man. Yeah, so that was your week. Was it good?
Good. Week's been good. Working hard, playing hard. Went out on the beach last night.
Did a lot of coke.
Yeah.
Playing hard, man.
When you go to Hampton Beach, if you're not doing a little bit of coke, what are you even doing over there?
Seriously, like you're that close to Salisbury, I'm sure you can find some.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't find some just like on the beach, there's usually some dude that's willing to at least throw some at you.
Yeah, or you can find heroin. Plenty of needles.
I thought that was in Manchester, had the heroin problem.
I mean, yes, there's plenty of that in Manchester, yes. But I'm sure you can find plenty at the beach.
Yes.
Good play, a family-friendly environment. You can find heroin anywhere.
Yes, if you can play slam ball, you can buy cocaine and heroin at that same place.
That's right.
Major clientele for heroin and cocaine users. Slam ball, can jam, hacky sack guys. That's the drug of choice for all these guys.
And you know where else you can find it? At your soon-to-be business, Happy Slappies.
Yes, at Happy Slappies, Exotic House of Pancakes, there will be an entire room dedicated just to doing cocaine and heroin.
And pancakes.
Yes, while making pancakes.
Strippers and pancakes.
Strippers, pancakes, lots of drinking, loud music, and old men.
Jaeger bombs.
Yes. And Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan will be there too.
Yes.
He'll show up. We'll find him and drag him there. We will force him to eat bacon off of strippers' butts.
Yes.
So how was your week?
Oh, it was just peachy. It actually kind of parlays into what we were going to talk about originally. But I got my my second vaccine on Wednesday. It is now Saturday. Yeah. Fun shit. So I was expecting I was expecting maybe minor symptoms, and I think maybe compared to others, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I could have had more aches, more pains, but I still had all the usual symptoms you would see for sure. So it kicked the crap out of me for about like a day and a half. But it was it sucked. But
It's lactose intolerance. Then you became more tolerant of lactose. And
yes.
full cycle of just endless spurts of diarrhea. Yeah.
And then I have a full diversity of lactose.
Yes.
And I encourage empowerment of lactose.
Right. You go to the lactose intolerance parade.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
The colors are white on white.
And there's usually some dude out there that's got like a nice American cheese, shirt, like walking around.
American cheese. Just like pictures of a Kraft singles, like on their t-shirt. First off, if you see a man or a woman wearing a Kraft singles American cheese t-shirt, they're just born to be fat.
Their name is Juicy Lucy.
Oh, Juicy Lucy. Yes. But that could also be a guy's name too. Like his first name could be like Lucifer or Lewis.
Lewis. Yeah. Juicy Lewis.
Yeah. It was like Luis.
Jesus Christ, that guy's got a clump of ass.
Or no, Lucy. So maybe he's like Lucky. Maybe that was his name.
Oh, Lucky. See, when I got my shot, I had no side effects, no symptoms, no nothing. And I felt like I got screwed out of the experience of being able to take a day off from work and be like, I can't feel my toes. I can't come into work today. Terrible. Felt like fucking nothing. I feel like they pumped me filled with air. That's why I've been so gassy lately.
Yeah, what were we talking about? Like they gave you just kind of like a sugar cube, essentially.
Yes, they fed me like a horse. They were like, here, get over
give you
here.
Oats.
Eat this. Yeah.
Put like that muzzle full of oats like on your face. Yeah.
This episode of the IBS Podcast is brought to you by viewers like you. If you would like to become a contributor to the show, message us on the official IBS Podcast Facebook page. Now, back to the show.
By the way, I'm keeping these sunglasses on. I look like a douche.
Yeah. Hey, welcome to morning radio with Weenie and the Butt.
That's right. The sun never goes down, cool down over here.
For those of you guys that can't see Mike, he is wearing a scally cap. He's wearing sunglasses, which you can clearly see the computer in his sunglasses. He's also wearing an Under Armour shirt, and he's got a full beard, and he's got a smile on his face.
His thumbs are going everywhere.
He's got two thumbs and
The sky.
White lights, white biscuits.
Yeah. So I don't know. So have you heard from anyone else's experience about getting this? I know we've had friends that are like, oh, this really kicked the crap out of me. But, I'm really thinking, I don't know, it was a mixed bag from what I've seen. I know some people that have had it pretty shitty. Some people took it like a champ.
Yeah.
I feel like half the time they're just taking just like an IV of water. But, I don't know. I feel like everyone's a little different on this matter. What do you think?
It's a good old tin of mixed nuts, as they say out in the scientific world.
I don't say that in the scientific world.
Not? No? Oh, weird. So yeah, I had people that had it really bad, and I think my dad didn't get any symptoms. Maybe you just need to be named Mike Smith, and you don't get any bad symptoms out of the whole thing.
Although if you're Mike Smith Jr., then you're fine.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So my boss evidently felt like shit for 3 days, which I also feel was a likely story, kind of being how can I get the rest of the week off?
Yep, pretty much. So that's why you gotta plan it though. You gotta get these vaccines on a Thursday, with full anticipation that you'll be taking the rest of the week off.
Yeah, which is crap because like we had major meetings that he needed to be a part of.
Yeah, well, Mike, I'm not.
I haven't been able to get out of bed. Okay.
Like, well, you still need to be there. It's like, yeah, well, I'm not.
You're gonna have to put on your big boy pants and get into this big boy sled and steer the company the way you want it to. Okay, sounds good.
Put on these big trousers here and
he does this all the time though. Like he goes on these like weird ass vacations that I'm just like, why are you going to Chile? What are you doing down there? Like the first.
What he was not telling you though is that he wasn't going to Chile, but he was actually going to Chili's.
Oh, he was going to the Chili's down the road.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's an American institution.
Yeah.
He's going there. He's gonna get some ribs, maybe some potato skins.
Yeah.
Maybe a nice cold beer.
One time he told me he was going to the Outback. Now I know he went to the Outback Steakhouse.
Yes. And it's like the time when he was saying he was going to Applebee's. He was going to Applebee's.
That makes no sense. I think that he probably went to like Kentucky to go to that chicken place that he told me he was going to.
Chick-fil-A?
It was like a fried chicken place that he went to in Kentucky.
Huh,
I think he called it like Kentucky Fried Chicken or something.
Nah, that doesn't make sense.
No, it was weird. But overall, I'm just saying that my boss is full of shit. And he should get on his high horse and get back to the office because I don't want to do the work. And that's where I'm standing.
That was his high horse, by the way. That was his high horse. Yeah.
Sorry, all the horses out there that just got offended.
Yeah. It was not the Kentucky Derby horse that took all those steroids.
Ooh. Yeah. Was that the one that was named after that girl that got shot?
I don't know.
Well,
that's like too many people
let's
getting shot.
turn the corner here.
Not to be a dick, but too many people getting shot. It's kind of hard to keep track.
It's true. Seems like there's a new person getting shot every day.
That's right. And I blame Obama.
I also blame Obama. He could have had tighter gun controls, but he didn't.
And he could have had a tighter ass.
Yes.
A tighter ass.
He had to take off his mom jeans and put on some big boy pants.
That's right. He could have had a perfect square ass, but no.
Yes. Perfect Obama ass.
No, he had the Obama ass.
Obama ass.
The IBS Podcast is brought to you by Busch Light. For the ones who get it done. Brewed for America's heartland. Now back to Bosko, Spyder, and the Middleman.
I haven't actually heard like an O'Reilly like auto parts commercial.
I hear it all the time.
It's been going on probably about 5 years now.
No, you don't know what you're missing. I hear it all the time.
Yeah? Is that like a New Hampshire thing?
I mean, I think it's just a radio thing. I don't know. I hear it on like all the sports radio talk shows.
Yeah, because they're the only ones that are still being sponsored by those guys.
Yeah, because I'm the only sap that listens to sports radio nowadays.
And you got the O'Reilly Auto Parts guys, and then you got like the Stanley Steamer guys. You just got all like the 1-800 Steamers, Cleveland Steamers makes.
Cleveland Steamer, the carpet cleaner.
I always wanted to like. I always thought that would be like a really just dumb business to get into because like it's like all right.
Carpet cleaner.
How many people do you think call Stanley Steamers to come over and steam clean their carpets? Which is not a euphemism for being a lesbian.
I was gonna say, like, I feel like that is, like more like that business is really just an innuendo. Like they come over and they literally will clean your carpet. Like they will clean your carpet. No clean carpet?
I mean, at the end of the day, a clean carpet means a carpet cleaning a day keeps the doctor away.
Doctor away?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The IBS Podcast is now available on Facebook and YouTube. Check in with the boys for more news, live broadcasts, and more. Now, back to the show.
As I say, so normally Brian is here to give us his political hot take of the day / of the half hour. So since he's not here, I do have a quick take here, and I think you might be able to add some value to this as well. That's right. We're gonna get political for 2 minutes, and then
Let's do it.
all right,
Dive deep.
all right, dive deep in the anus of politics. All right, so here we go. So first off, sports and politics. What are your thoughts on that? Do they exist? Should they exist?
Sports in politics, like
Politics and sports.
Ooh, that could be interesting. Sometimes it could be warranted. Like, are we talking like senators playing sports, or are we just talking about the politics of sports?
I'm talking how athletes. ESPN really is notorious for this, where you'll watch a game, and every intermission or before or after the game, there's always some political cause going on that ESPN supports, or there's always some cause that you have to know about, some social justice that you have to pay attention to. Nothing wrong with that, but I think in this day and age where politics is 24/7, and you're watching a game to really just escape all that, the last thing you want to do is hear about someone's political opinions while watching, entertainment.
Right.
And maybe that's just me being a dick, but I'm also not the only one that believes this either. I think that everyone absolutely is entitled to their opinion, but I think in the nature of which you work in should also dictate that you should not be, putting your political beliefs down my goddamn throat.
Yes. Oh yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I feel like it's always kind of weird when you're like tuning into like a football game and they got like a 3-minute vignette at the beginning where it's just like, so many African Americans die every year from cops, and then it's just like 45 minutes of that, and they're just like, and now here's the Steelers. What?
Seriously.
It's kind of weird.
Well, yeah, and it's like, we have to watch like players take a kneel, which again, I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole of like, do you support or do you not? Like, if you don't, then you hate black people and all minorities. Like, okay, all right, apparently, but no, like you go on ESPN, right? And so there's entire page like dedicated to, like minority inequalities in sports, and like a whole page dedicated to like women of sports. And again, look at us too. And we come we are here like two white guys, right? So it's not like we can speak from experience on the matter, but I mean, we're still entitled to our opinions for sure. But like all at the same time, it's like everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own struggle, like not just these people. Like, yes, like there's a common sense factor. Like, of course, there are shitty police. Of course, there are bad eggs to every situation. Of course, there's racism, sexism. I don't want to fucking see it on the football field or like when I'm watching a game. It's supposed to be, sports is sports.
Right.
If you want to show one of those, like the what's it called, like the miracle, not the miracle, what's like the Make-A-Wish thing where like, you know, some kid has like cancer, is overcoming some, you know, adversity of some sort, and like, you know, athletes are helping them out, like go for it. And like, you know, I don't mind like the occasional like, you know, feel good story, right. But all at the same time, it's like, it's the same thing. Like, oh, you know, this person here has, you know, seen racism. This person here is a woman and therefore, you know, knows what it's like to not be a man, and therefore, you know, she immediately is going uphill, the uphill battle. And it's like, all right, let's cut the shit. Like,
young Timmy is overcoming ALS.
It's like, is your sport entertaining or not?
Timmy's last wish was to go up to Tom Brady and sack tap him 14 times in a row until he threw up.
So, well, it's like, what is LeBron James going to tell me about domestic policy, you know? Like, again, like, all these people are entitled to their opinions, but all at the same time, it's like, don't blame me if I don't give a shit what your opinion is.
So do you think it's them doing that, or do you think it's like somebody being like, you need to talk to the people, LeBron, people look up to you?
No, I mean, I think in this day and age, like, probably all of his like publicists and like marketing agents are like, oh yeah, you should make a political stance. That'll really you know, get your brand value up. You know, it's probably what it is. But I mean, you know, I mean, since people get all wet about you know, celebrity gossip, it's like, you know, LeBron's just like, yeah, I'm a celebrity now, therefore I will say what I want and people will just eat it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm LeBron.
Right.
Which, I mean, you know, that's perfectly well within his right, but I also couldn't give a shit about what he believes about China or trade deals. Because again, he has no involvement with it.
Right.
Once he becomes some like political figure, like actually, you know, doing stuff in that and not like a full-time basketball player, then come talk to me. But
right.
Until then, shut the fuck up.
Right. I want Mitt Romney to get into like shuffleboard or something like that. Get like really good at shuffleboard.
And you know, my favorite.
He can dictate things on ESPN for us too.
And you know what my favorite sport is? My favorite sport is praying. I pray real hard, and I get a good sweat going after 5 hours of praying every single day. All right. Who let the dogs out?
Who. But I was gonna say, on the other side, do you think that people would be really upset if these guys didn't do the whole political thing, or do you think if it disappeared altogether that no one would miss it?
I don't think anyone would miss it because no one's really listening to him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, there's a story that came out like the how NBA viewership dropped by like a third, and a lot of it was because of, you know, the political, you know, fodder that all of these, you know, athletes are just you know, dumping at you. And it's like, all right, again, like, enough, I'll find something else to watch. And that's really in sports, like, at the end of the day, like, that's what it is. Like, it's entertainment. You know, it's not like watching the news where like you have to know what's going on to like get informed. Like, sports is more of like, I'm just watching this to be entertained, and I am not entertained.
Not.
Yeah, so like, I mean, people have the choice. People have the choice though to either watch it or not watch it, and it's not going to affect their lives one way or another. Just like the Oscars, and there's a reason why the Oscars is in the shits right now. No one watches the freaking Oscars, and like it's funny because like that, the Oscars was probably like my favorite award show to watch because at least of all of them, yes. Like I never watch the VMAs because that's just biased bullshit anyway, and it's just pop BS. pop and country. Like they don't know rock. So I stopped watching that a while ago. But at least like with movies, like a good movie is a good movie.
Right.
You know, and you know, I've seen plenty of them, and I think there are a lot of good movies out there. So I'm like, well, at least, you know, it's gonna be pretty decent. But again, like everyone had their political take on it, and you had to listen to like everyone's, you know, political, social injustice for every single acceptance speech.
Yeah, it's like, shut up, George Clooney. No one gives a shit.
Exactly. It's like Sean Penn. I don't give a shit about the freaking Mexican drug cartel right now, okay? Just accept
I do care about Casey Affleck, though. Casey Affleck, I'll take his politics every day.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Maybe Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah. Well, she's over there just like making funny faces and like doing drugs in the bathroom.
Yes. Yes. Or doing drugs in Hampton Beach. Who knows?
Yeah, on the beach.
Yes.
Right there, in front of everybody.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You're listening to the IBS Podcast. If you like what you're hearing, give us a like on Facebook or a thumbs up on YouTube. Now back to the show.
I get most of my news from Scarlett Johansson. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't.
Well, now you do.
From her specifically. What did she tell you today?
She told me that that QAnon is not real. And I said, thank you, Scarjo. Appreciate it.
QAnon, like the group, is not real, or
QAnon as a idea. Just the whole thing, I feel like is I listened to a couple of podcasts recently about it, and it just seemed like I don't really understand how people could like fall for such bullshit. It's really funny.
I mean, there are people out there. I feel like half the people though don't. They just. I think there are people that. I think it was the same thing when what was the like the Wall Street protests that were like in Boston and New York City?
Oh yeah, that was the what was it? Yeah, I remember those because that was
the break up Wall Street movement or whatever. But like there was talking about like people that they weren't even there, like they didn't really support the cause per se. Like they're just full-time protesters. Like wherever there's a protest, they're gonna join to fight the power man.
Social justice warriors.
Yeah, and I feel like sometimes like some of these like hardcore left or right, you know, jamokes are just like, you know, like let's just join the fight, no matter what the cause is. Or remember Waco, fists up in the air.
Wake up!
You know? Wake up! Woohoo!
And that evidently, I just remembered, wasn't the thing in Boston and in Wall Street and all that, it was called Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah, and you know what happened too? Like there was so many stories. So I remember there's one story of a guy in like the actual New York City, like the actual Wall Street protest, and there was like a Wall Street like executive that went up to one of the protesters. He's like, "Hey, do you want a job?" He's like, "Actually, yeah, I do." He's like, "All right, well, come on in."
And that's how the Wolf of Wall Street started.
Yeah. So half these people like they don't even like believe in the freaking cause. Like they just want what's theirs.
They're just bored at this point. So
yeah,
they're just
pretty much.
like, well, I got nothing else going on, so
that's right.
I'll go out there.
You know, and that guy too. He's probably like in the office, like at the water cooler, having just office talk with people. Like, hey, so how you doing? Yeah, how are the kids? Good. Yeah. Watch the game last night.
You catch the Padres game last night? Yeah, no one watches the Padres. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, I'm a big baseball fan. You know, I like it. I watched it ever since I was a kid. Yeah.
I think that it's kind of funny because I have like the weirdest water cooler banter with like some of the engineers that I work with, and like a lot of the times it's really like, depending on who I'm talking to, it's really dumb. There's one guy that I talked to probably like 2 or 3 times a week. His name is Ben. He's like this like kind of goofy roboticist. And the last time that I talked to him, we were like cross paths because we were both getting lunch at the same time in the cab. And he just goes, this is Asian chicken. Do you think they got it all the way from Asia? It's like, I don't think so. He was like, oh, trust me, they were born in Asia, brought over here, killed, so they're still technically Asian chickens. I was like, good talk, Ben. See you next week.
So, Ben, if this wasn't an office, I would totally be on board with this conversation. But since we're being watched, and since I'm also working for HR, I probably shouldn't be having this conversation with you.
Right, exactly. I'm just like, where are we going with this?
Since I'm part of HR, the most sensitive of the departments, I probably should not be having this conversation with you. Except, are they really, or are they probably like the most dirtiest, like, department? Like, hey, we're HR. What are we gonna do? Report ourselves?
Pretty much it. Like
they probably have so much power.
Me and my boss have had some risque conversations just in front of people. It's really funny.
What are you gonna do? Fire us?
So the marketing guy was filming a kind of like a what it's like to work at Berkshire Grey about a year and a half ago, and this video is still online. And he wanted some like B-roll of like me and my boss like just like walking by the Berkshire Grey sign that's like in the front office.
Yep.
He was just like, so just walk by, like, pretend like you're talking to each other or whatever. Well, there's not going to be any sound to this, so there's going to be music playing. So, like, yeah, just, like, do whatever you want. So me and him are walking by the sign. He goes, so, I hear your grandma does gangbang porn. And I'm like, yep, she's still in the game after all these years. And he goes, great. That was a good take. Can we do it one more time?
Maybe a little bit
without the porn? Did you say porn? I was just like, what? What are you gonna report my boss to himself? Like, I don't know what you want him to do.
Yeah. It's probably so much privilege and power, so much patriarchy.
Yes. There's a lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of ups, lots of downs.
Yes. I like it.
That's working in HR, man. And then it's mostly listening to other people's problems, white people problems. You really get the juicy stuff.
Yes, absolutely. But not just white people problems. It's gonna equate it to like white women problems.
Right. White women.
Let's be clear.
I'm gonna make you late for your goddamn bonfire.
Son of a bitch.
We have got nothing accomplished.
Sounds about right.
This episode of the IBS Podcast is brought to you by viewers like you. If you would like to become a contributor to the show, message us on the official IBS Podcast Facebook page. Now, back to the show.
Well, hey, you know something with that though?
We gotta do one more segment before we get out of here.
All right, so we can go 2 routes here. We can either do our top 5 metal singers, or we can do stereotypes at road races.
I'm gonna do top 5 metal singers.
It's like top 5.
Do you have
top 5 stereotypes at road. Oh god!
Let's combine them. Top 5 metal musicians who do road races.
All right, so Sebastian Bach, Randy Blythe.
Yeah. Probably Corey Taylor, and I can see like Howard Jones from Killswitch Engage when he's not when he has his diabetes taken care of.
Yes.
And Lindsay Lohan.
Yes.
All right. So
and
go first,
I-
or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first. So and I did this. So I had a somewhat tough time because like there's my bias like favorites, but then also like I'm looking at skill, and so I think there's a contrast, right? So like for bands, I like the singer from System of a Down, but no way do I think he's a skilled singer.
Surge. So we're doing this with
basically a little bit more on skill, a little bit more on skill of the singer.
Dead or alive?
Oh yeah, Dead or Alive.
Okay. Cool.
Dead or Alive, they're Bon Jovi.
Wanted.
All right, so here we go. So and actually, it's funny you brought this fella up because I actually had Howard Jones on my top 5, and this is actually in no order either. So Howard Jones was on there, and again, I do like Killswitch. I think for the hardcore metal bands, I think they're probably one of my personal favorites. But I look at him in that, so like a metal singer, I would want him to have a nice combination of like singing and also that screaming part too.
Yeah.
And so I think he has a pretty good marriage of the two. And he's also he's got super deep, singing, and he can also just he's able to just like hit it. And it's super clean too. So, and I don't know, I think he's a pretty solid singer. But the thing is, and you would know this too, like metal, so many different genres, subgenres. So it's hard to like just focus on one particular area. So I'm just talking like all around metal. Yep. But again, we also talked about this too. Like I can't stand like 80s and beforehand. Because I think that type of music's crap.
Yeah.
I'm not a big, 80s power metal, hair metal, thrashing. I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm going more like 90s on.
Yeah.
So.
Sweet. You're not gonna put Iron Maiden on there? Little Bruce?
No, but like, so honestly, and that's actually a good one because I think I forgot what his name is.
Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah, Bruce Dickinson. So I think he's actually got a really good voice, and also the guy from Judas Priest. I think
Robbie Halford.
Yes, I think he's got the super high voice. So I do think he's really good. But again, personal bias, I just don't like that style of music or metal.
Fair enough.
So yeah. Secondly, and again, let me know if I'm stepping on any toes here. So second one I have is Chester Bennington.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so again, he's able to scream, he's able to sing. I think his screaming is fantastic. Perfect example is you'd be able to tell me, in the final album that they had, the song Given Up, right? He has like the scream for like 20 seconds, like in the breakdown. It was fantastic. But also, like, he can do, like, in the song Crawling, like, he's able to sing, like, melodically. And actually, I think anything past Hybrid Theory album, he's all they're doing is singing. So, but that's another day. Yeah. So no, I think he's pretty solid. Number 3, and I'm actually gonna go away from the guys for a sec. Amy Lee, Evanescence. Gotta go with the goth metal singer. Granted, I think one or two songs she's really known for, but I think if you look at her full body of work, like she's got some pipes, really good range.
Yeah. You gotta look at the whole body, not just her boobs.
That's right. You gotta look at the diaphragm. She's got a nice throat hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that's the technical term, right? Throat hole?
The throat hole.
Swallow machine?
Yes, the swallow machine, yes. Yes. Yes, the bird, actually. Yes. Fourth, I'm going to put is, I think there's a little bit more bias, but I'm going to put Dave Draymond on there.
Ooh.
Disturbed.
Yeah.
But, and I look at it a couple ways. So, like, he has a very unique singing style. He's able to, I've heard him, like, yeah, he does a lot of, like, grunts and, like, a lot of, like, just angry yelling. But I've also heard him in, like, the later albums do more, like, actual screaming. And I've also, you know, when he's done, like, a lot of covers, and, like, the most recent one, The Sound of Silence, like, that's more of his take on this more melodic singing. But, like, you know, they do a lot of slower, more melodic, like, songs towards the end of the album, of all their albums anyway. So I think he's got a lot of, like, power to his voice too. So
the last song on Believe, that song that was just like him just be like, I'm going home. I'm just like, what is that?
Hey yo Dave, why don't you go home, okay? All right. All right. So and then the last one, it was a toss up, but I'm actually going with the singer from All That Remains.
Yeah.
And so I think his, again, for me, I think I'm a little bit more biased towards, like, just, like, powerful singers, but he has, I like his scream is very powerful, just very, like, in your face. But, you know, when he sings too, it's, you know, it makes sense for that. He's, you know, they're very, very just hard style of music anyway. And so I think his style of singing, both actual singing and screaming, makes sense for that style of music. And I don't think you can do, like, a whole lot of, you know, melodic singing for that style, but I think for what he does, he makes it work.
Yes.
Yes.
Good list. Good list.
I'm trying.
I originally had some of your peoples, but I'm going to adjust it so that there will be new people we can talk about.
Oh, I mean, if you have some overlapping, man, we can always
like I was gonna say, like, Chester would be a good one. Amy Lee is obviously great. I'm going to go number 5.
Number 5.
I think Jonathan Davis of Korn is a really good singer for a weird dude that he is, because he can do a lot. I mean, he's like a good kind of like mid-screamer when he wants to be, and he also can, like, actually just, like, sing songs that, like, are really good. Like, over his career, he's had some interesting little things. It's not just him going like boom knock tequila, like that he always kind of does, but he's got some pipes to him. I like him. I'll put him at number 5. Number 4, I think that Matt Tuck from Bullet for My Valentine,
Yes.
like the Poison. And
So before he got the surgery, by the way.
Yes, pre-surgery. The first 2 albums were pretty ridiculous, and you know, you got to appreciate somebody that can scream the way that he does, and also sing, and is super, like, he was like super poppy for a couple seconds there, which was really nice.
I love the song, "The Hearts Burst into Fire."
Yeah.
My hearts burst into fire.
So that's numero 5. Numero 4. Number 3, I'm also going to the female side, and I'm going to say Lizzie Hale from Hailstorm.
Yes.
She is a pretty crazy lady with a really good voice, and she can scream with the best of them. So definitely.
Yes, she can.
So number 2 was kind of a toss-up between 2 people that I think could be, you know, either or could be where I would say would be a good one. We got Matt Heffy from Trivium, great great singer. He's also a good screamer. I also had Jesse from the now Killswitch Engage, not the old Jesse.
Oh, he was also the original Killswitch Engage.
Right, exactly. I didn't like him back in the day. I like him now. I think he's got a better voice now.
Oh, you don't like Roads of Sharon, Jesse?
No, I think he was a little too hokey. I don't think that he really understood what he was doing. Now he can just kick some serious ass.
Too hokey, too pokey.
Yes, mostly pokey.
Mostly pokey.
And no surprise here. Number one, I'm going with Corey Taylor. I think that he is, he can scream his ass off in Slipknot, but also sing his ass off in Stone Sour. And his new album is kind of weird, but he still sings. He's been getting.
Oh, is that his rap album?
Yeah. Corey motherfucking Taylor. Yeah, he's kind of all over the place in that whole thing. But no, I think he is kind of the epitome. I was going to put probably Chester as number one because Chester was just amazing. But, Corey Taylor has to take it from me.
But you took my idea, so...
I gotta be different.
I have to play devil's advocate. Oh, man.
Good list, though. Good list.
Yeah.
Good shit.
The IBS Podcast is brought to you by Busch Light. For the ones who get it done. Brewed for America's heartland. Now back to Bosko, Spyder, and the Middleman.
Well, before we wrap it up here, I think it's time for
today's day in IBS history.
Yay! My favorite part of the show.
Yes, right? So, this one's titled The Miserable Hot Cocoa Incident. So,
already tasted.
I don't think you do. I don't think you do. So, when I was 11, my dad. Oh, by the way, this is written to us by Tucker at the University of Iowa.
Is his last name Max?
No. So, when I was 11, my dad was working at a factory that had a hot chocolate and coffee vending machine. I decided that 27 hot chocolates later in a few hours would be a good idea. Well, after 27 hot chocolates, I had to use the bathroom. Sadly, I did not make it. After I was running as my little legs would take me, I pooped. It projected out of me so fast, people thought my pants were tap dispensing poop. It was everywhere, my pants, my socks, my shoes, the floor. But at least my dad got the rest of the day off to take me home. And his dad probably got fired the next day.
Thank you, Tucker.
This has been
today's day in IBS history.
Perfect.
Yes.
Oh my god. I have 2 cups of coffee in the morning and it's over and done with. 27 cups of hot chocolate. Are you kidding me?
Well, first off, if you had that much I think if you had that much coffee, your just metabolism would just be just get everything out of us right now. How do you suck down 27 cups of hot chocolate? What are you doing with your life? So alright, so it was take your kid to work day, but did you not have anything, you're just going back and forth to the vending machine, just pound first off, this kid's probably water cooled talking with like all the guys in there, just sucking down hot chocolates.
With the sales guys.
Yeah, but he was probably in the coffee room like at one point, probably for like 15 minutes straight, just like pounding it down, refilling, pounding it down. You know, like that's a lot of hot chocolate in 5 hours. That's dedication. That is work in itself, and you, sir, are an American hero and an idiot.
Yes. I'm kind of glad that they don't really have like take your kid to work days anymore, because like if I had a kid and I had to take them to work, like that would be the most boring day of their life, because it's just what my son or daughter would just see me like making calls to candidates all day.
Yeah. Promising them the world.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, do you do this all day? Yep. And then the other half of the day, I'm on LinkedIn trying to find people. And, got another phone call. Go back into that conference room.
This is what I like to call my unofficial break, where I go take a dump for 45 minutes.
Hey guys, I'm gonna go take a 3-hour lunch. I'll be back next week.
Son, this is the real world, so
get comfy with it. All right, it's all gonna be gravy from here.
Oh, ass gravy.
Yes. Or like you have to like bring your son to like a call center, and you're just like, yep, this is where your daddy gets yelled at by people trying to get health insurance.
This is why I'm always so happy when I get home from work. Yes, watch me get yelled at by my boss. All right.
Young, I told you to have those reports on my desk 2 weeks ago. What have you been doing? Oh, sorry, sir, I've been in the bathroom.
Yeah, just taking a dump. What do you think? Shit.
It's like, Dad, you don't even have your own office? Well, I have a cubicle. So, it's a cubicle that I actually share with 2 other people. But, still my cubicle. Look, here's a picture of your mom. Look at her.
And I have a stress ball with eyes that poke out.
And there's a little poster of a cat that's just hanging there.
And a pen with a little cush ball for an eraser.
It's like, Dad, what are you doing with these puppets underneath your desk here? Well, these are the HR puppets. I use these to tell people not to touch each other.
Hi there!
Now, you see, Annie, I do not want to go out on a date with you. But you told me that if I went on a date with you, you would give me that supervisory position. Shut up, Rich.
Hey, so Stephanie, you want to go on a date with me? No, I don't think so, Lucas. But you said you would. I don't think it's work appropriate. Oh, so you're not work appropriate. The end.
Like, and what did that teach us? I don't know. Like,
sexual assault in the workforce gets you fired.
I would love to see Ellen in HR. That would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe in one of the training videos, we can cast him and be like, what not to do in the office. Don't stick another employee's finger up your ass.
Nobody wants to be a Squidward.
Squidward, 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 Squidward. Can I take your hat, sir? Can I take your hat, sir?
Oh, like a weenie.
Well,
that's not disturbing. This is disturbing. Hello. My name is Pat Back. Wow, that is disturbing.
The IBS Podcast is now available on Facebook and YouTube. Check in with the boys for more news, live broadcasts, and more. Now, back to the show.
I think that does it for this episode of the
On
IBS
that note.
Podcast. On that note, we're signing off. For our sponsors, Bush Light. We might get other sponsors. We're still working on it. I would love to get a sponsor from another beer company.
I'd love to actually get a sponsor from Bush Latte.
Yes, that would be fantastic. We have to move out to the Midwest, though. I feel like that's
Yes.
where all of those sponsors are.
Hey, for all I know, we are in the Midwest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technically, we're working remotely.
Yeah.
We're working remotely on the East Coast, but we're stationed in the Midwest.
Yes.
That's where all of our viewers are. We
Absolutely.
just don't see them.
Absolutely.
Well, until next week, I am Spyder.
I'm Bosko.
For the Middleman, we will see you next week. Peace!
Peace.